1, 2, 1, 2. One, two, check. 1, 2. 1, 2, check. 1, 2.
Okay, perfect. So, it's short and sweet, and it just worked out that yesterday's great.
cell phones if you have not done so already. If you are able, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the singing of our national anthem by senior students Grace Anna Bonas, Sarah DeMarco, and Molly Kaiser. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red catapults bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. At this time, I would like to welcome one of our very own high school teachers and my friend up to the stage for our opening remarks. Please join me in welcoming Lieutenant Commander Susan Allen, U.S. Navy retired.
Good morning, and welcome to Tunkhannock Area High School and its annual Veterans Day ceremony. My name is Lieutenant Commander Susan Allen. I'm a Navy retiree and a teacher of mathematics here at the high school. It is a privilege to be addressing you, this room full of veterans and their families. In 1918, on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, the world rejoiced and celebrated. After 4 years of bitter war, the Allied powers signed a ceasefire agreement, an armistice, with Germany at Rethon, France, bringing World War I to a close. The war to end all wars was over. On November 11th, 1919, the one-year anniversary of the signing of the armistice, President Wilson issued his Armistice Day proclamation with the following words: "To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service, and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice in the councils of the nations." The date was set aside to remember the sacrifices that men and women made during World War I to ensure a lasting peace. Veterans Day gives Americans the opportunity to celebrate the bravery and sacrifice of all U.S. veterans. That is what today is about. In 1919, when President Wilson asked all Americans to celebrate the anniversary, the day was celebrated with parades all over the country. Soldiers and sailors who survived the war marched in parades throughout their hometowns. Politicians and veteran officers gave speeches, like this one, and held ceremonies of thanks for the peace they had won. We continue to celebrate our veterans to this day. Yesterday, I had the honor of taking part in the Wyoming Valley Veterans Day Parade, one of the longest-running Veterans Day parades in the country. The theme for this year's parade was honoring the veterans in our community. We honored veterans who continue to serve their communities after they are finished their time in the military, trading one uniform for another. Veterans like many of you who serve who have joined military service organizations like the American Legion, the VFW, coaches, church volunteers, Boy Scout and Girl Scout leaders, soup kitchen volunteers, and the list goes on. There are 7 veterans that serve in this building, Tunkhannock Area High School, to this day, and 1 that used to serve. You continue to serve your community even though your service to country is over. For that, we thank you. Today, you will hear an essay written by one of our students, written in honor of our veterans. Her essay was selected to represent the high school at the Veterans Day Parade Essay Contest and was one of our winning essays. You will also hear performances by students in the music department. They have been working diligently to prepare for today's ceremony. It's an amazing program, and I know you will enjoy it. So sit back, enjoy this great ceremony. Happy Veterans Day, and thank you for your service.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Allen. Next on our program, we'd like to turn your attention to the stage for our 10th through 12th grade wind ensemble under the direction of Mr. Kenneth Lucky. They will be performing a powerful rendition of America as a musical tribute to our veterans. Mr. Lucky, our drum majors, and the 10th through 12th grade wind ensemble. In order to prepare for the next portion of our program, we are just going to take a quick minute or two to invite our 8th and 9th grade band up to the stage. When they are set, we'll continue our program. Every year, the Wyoming Valley Veterans Day Parade Committee sponsors an essay contest for students in grades 4 through 12. This year, one of my amazing advanced vocal class members, Emily Campbell, has been chosen to present her award-winning essay. At this time, I would like to invite Emily to the podium. Please join me in welcoming her to the stage.
Our protectors are liberators. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Our flag was still there. Our flag is still there, protected by the proud vigil of our American troops. Our coveted stars and stripes waves evermore in the amber sky and over the milky snow. It marches into battlefields and dots the gray graves of war heroes. Standing proud among the valleys of the flag, the soldiers, sailors, and warriors of the United States of America. Men and women forged with pride and skill, dedicated to protecting those who cannot protect themselves. A people created with a grand destiny, a higher purpose, to protect and defend those desperate for relief and liberation. When these men and women were crafted in celestial skies, their souls differed from the hundreds of inconsequential minds, riveted with resilience, crafted with integrity, strength, bravery, and unmatched technical skills, delivered to us as our honored heroes, those fighting for our liberties and rights. As they march into the unknown, our cheers should shroud the buzz of bombs and shrapnel of battle, rising to the occasion, whether it be battle or service, to heal this damaged world. I have been blessed to hear the extraordinary stories that shape the lives of many veterans from every branch: Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. My uncle David was awarded the title of Army Soldier of the Year in 2009 after deployment in Afghanistan and countless hours of training. My other uncle, Chris, served 2 tours, one in Afghanistan, the other in Iraq. It has been years since either of them have seen active duty, but the scars of battle are still engraved in their minds. Both have happy families, David with 3 children and Chris with a newborn baby. There are 2 wonderful men who attend church with me, one from the Army and one from the Navy. Though they claim to have a rivalry, they embrace as friends, as brothers in arms. The wonderful men of the 457 Dennis Strong American Legion Post bestowed knowledge to the young members of the Tigertron's robotics team during one of their many visits. Minds have been enriched by the stories, the knowledge that these men and women have. We place flags at the edge of veterans' graves, watching the green grasses and ivy curl up around their marble names. Dates that occurred years before I was even born, these lives were lived and lost. I kneel in front of the graves and gently remove the dirt and moss. How can I thank the souls below the soil? How can I honor the people fighting today? When Mr. Mates was asked the question, "What do you expect in return?" he simply said nothing, as if being repaid for his service was preposterous. He later elaborated, confessing that we don't do it to be honored, we only seek for others to continue the tradition, the legacy, and hold up the torch. The torch is the flame of inspiration, the call to serve. A soldier stands for honor, courage, and commitment. A soldier is a beacon, an inspiration. We as civilians owe so much to the sacrifice of soldiers. I thank these brave souls for ensuring my safety in school, my liberties as an American citizen, and my future in this world. There is no doubt in my mind that the world is turning thanks to these men and women. So let us honor them, despite any denials they deserve it. Yes, continue to decorate your lawn on the 4th of July. Yes, author letters to be sent overseas. Yes, clean the graves of soldiers from the past. Yes, thank those men and women in uniform. No, never forget the sacrifice they made for you. These unique people deserve our thanks, our praise, and our respect.
Thank you so much, Emily, for sharing your amazing essay. I'd like to now turn your attention back to the stage to our 8th and 9th grade concert band under the direction of Mr. Kevin Kreinberg and Mr. Kenneth Lucky, conducted by Mr. Kevin Kreinberg. They will be performing American Declaration. What an excellent song to honor our veterans and America. Thank you, Mr. Kreinberg, Mr. Lucky, and the 8th and 9th grade concert band. At this time, I am honored to introduce our guest speaker for the program. Our guest speaker is the pastor at Trinity Presbyterian Church in Dallas. He has also served as the chaplain for the Post 457 Dennis Strong American Legion in Tunkhannock. We had the honor of hearing from him back in 2022, and I am so excited that we get to bring him back to Tunkhannock to hear what he has to say today. Please join me in welcoming Reverend Dr. Murray Thompson to the podium.
Each year gets a little bit harder to climb those stairs. I guess it's all part of the aging process. To begin with, I want to thank all of you at Tunkhannock High School for extending an invitation to me to be with you today. It truly is an honor and a privilege just to be standing among you and among so many great people who harbor that patriotic heart. I want to thank all of your musicians, all of your students, the faculty, the administration. Tara, thank you so much. It's just quite a privilege for me to be standing here with you this morning. Just a few minutes ago, your Lieutenant Commander, Susan Allen, highlighted a bit of history that even this morning is featured all across the fabric of these United States of America. That piece of history goes back 106 years. 106 years ago, there was something that was often referred to as the Great War. You and I know it today as World War I. Interestingly, as the news of peace at that time reached the front lines of France, where many of our troops were located, there was a young American soldier who, like many soldiers, sent a letter home to his parents to let them know what was going on. He was from the great state of Missouri, the Show Me State. And if I may, I would like to quote just a piece of that letter that he wrote home to his parents as the war had ended. He said, "Dear Mom and Dad, if only you could see, fighting stopped. And it wasn't long before lanterns began to shine in virtually every French window and door. Dear folks, if only you can see what I see at the present moment in time." Now, interestingly, for those who had fought in this war, unlike any war the world had ever seen before, it was a symbol. It was a reminder that as long as those who stand for freedom, light will always triumph over darkness. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you realize it or not, I trust that you do by this time, that we have come together this morning once again to honor the generations of Americans who stood in the front lines of freedom, to once again bear witness to the great deeds of a noble few who risked everything to give you and me a better future. Those who have always but always kept the light of liberty shining bright across the world. Our veterans. Our veterans. And to be honest with you, never in my life did I ever envision that I myself would one day become a veteran of this nation. For I went on active duty at the tender age of 40, and I wound up in a place called Saudi Arabia and Iraq during a time frame that was often referred to as Desert Shield and Desert Storm. I spent almost 8 months in the desert, just like all of our other soldiers, all 550,000 of them, with boots on the ground, sweltering under the heat of a sun that often went to 110 degrees. But that's another story. Again, as your Lieutenant Commander highlighted just a few moments ago, every year on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, you and I gather to pay tribute to these patriots of the greatest fighting force in the history of the world. That is truly significant, because if any of you happen to be history buffs and have studied the major nations of the world over the course of the past 2,000 years or so, you will begin to realize just what a great place this is on God's map on this planet. You know, when I think about it, it was like yesterday when, like many of you, I raised my right hand to serve in the United States Army. Again, at the tender age of 40. I don't know what made me do it. I guess I considered it to be my duty, to be my responsibility, in order to protect my country as well as my family. As you've heard many times, it all comes down to duty, honor, and country. And that was the code that I lived by, and the creed that literally millions of veterans have followed over the course of time, from places like Belleau Woods to Baghdad, even just down the road at a place called Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, to Guadalcanal, Korea, Kandahar. Each one linked in a chain of honor that stretches all the way back, as you highlighted a moment ago, students, to our founding fathers, the founding days of this nation, with each one bound by the sacred oath to support and defend, not a person and not a place, but I would submit to you, each one was there and continued to serve, to support and uplift an idea. Now think about this for a moment. To defend an idea. To defend an idea unlike any other in the pages of human history. That idea is the United States of America. That's who you are. That's who I am a part of. An idea that we could become a United States of America. Do you realize that we are the only nation on the face of the earth We are the only nation in the world that's built on an idea. Virtually every other nation is based on things like geography. If you don't believe me, all you have to do is turn on the evening news at 6:30 and see what's happening on the other side of the world, even as I speak. It's a grab for geography, or ethnicity, or religion. Speaking of religion, during the 8 months I spent in Saudi Arabia and Iraq, I can assure you, religion is the be-all and the end-all. I was not working under a democracy. I was working under an umbrella of theocracy. Unlike anything you and I have ever experienced on this side of the Atlantic Ocean. But we're the only nation built on the idea that we are all created equal and endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. It's amazing. To me, it's obviously a miracle. And I say this because throughout the annals of history, whatever and whenever the forces of darkness have sought to extinguish the light of liberty, guess what? American veterans have been holding the lantern high as they can for all of us. And they were there way back in 1776 when a determined band of patriots sparked something called the American Revolution, and thereby delivering a nation where everyone is endowed with certain unalienable rights. And amazingly, they were there again when less than a century later, they gave our nation a new birth of freedom. And yet again, they were there when fascist forces brought the fight to the trenches of France, in Europe, in the bloody beaches of Normandy. I don't know if any of you have had the privilege of visiting that part of the world, the beaches of Normandy. My wife Karen and I have been blessed with that opportunity, and I will guarantee you, even today, those beaches will take your breath away. Take your breath away. What those men accomplished on D-Day is just unimaginable. And yet again, they were there when darkness came to our shores on something that came to be known as 9/11, and those huge towers, twin towers in New York City, collapsed to the ground, killing 3,000 or 4,000 people whom we honor even today. They were there, tour after tour, to keep our democracy safe and to keep us secure over the decades. I would submit to you, as a nation, we really owe them. Not just for keeping the flame of freedom burning during the darkest moments, but for serving our communities even after they hang up their uniforms, as your lieutenant commander highlighted again a few moments ago, thereby hopefully inspiring the next generation. We see this all across the fabric of America, at all of our military barracks, if you will, and bases across the country, where young men and women continue to risk their own safety for the safety of their fellow Americans. Moreover, we see it around the face of the globe as we go from one country to the next, as our troops continue to stand with our allies against the forces of tyranny and terrorism and darkness. To this day, it seems to me that wherever the forces of darkness have sought to extinguish the light of liberty, thankfully, American troops can be found there. And standing right next to them are their families. I know this to be true because without my wife's support during Desert Shield and Desert Storm back here, back home, I couldn't have done what I did for America's finest. It made all the difference knowing she was standing right next to me, even though she was 10,000 miles away. It makes that much difference. John Milton once wrote, "They also serve who only stand and wait." And that's just what she did, my wife Karen, along with thousands of others, of spouses who stayed behind and watched anxiously the TV and the news and the newspapers every night. I guess all I really want to say today is that whether you fully realize it or not, our veterans are the steel spine of the nation. They are the steel spine along with all of you, like so many of you who are gathered here this morning. That's what it takes to preserve the integrity of a nation. Our veterans. It occurred to me not so long ago as I was contemplating coming here this morning to spend this time with you that, you know, when it comes right down to it, when you think of a veteran really isn't a country preacher like me who has given us freedom of religion. Moreover, it is a veteran and not a news reporter who has given us freedom of the press. It is a veteran and not a poet who has given us freedom of speech. It is a veteran and not a campus organizer who has given us the freedom to assemble. It is a veteran and not a lawyer who has given us the right to a fair trial. And yes, it is a veteran and not a politician who has given us the right to vote. You did vote, didn't you? It's a veteran who has enabled you to do that. Moreover, it is a veteran who salutes the flag, and he or she knows full well they stand under the flag, not over the flag. That comes first. And so it is. It has occurred to me more than once, just like that young soldier wrote more than a century ago following World War I, the war to end all wars, if only you could see. Lanterns everywhere. Lanterns shine in every window and door. Oh, Mom. Oh, Dad. If only you could see. My dear and good friends of Tunkhannock, I would submit to you this morning, we not only see that light of liberty, we live by it. I know I live by it, not only within the fabric of the community within the fabric of the greater part of our nation, but even within the fabric of something called the Church of Jesus Christ. You'll see the light. You must see the light. And just like our forebears, I think it's on all of us today, all of us together, to ask ourselves what we can do and what we must do to keep that light shining in every window for the next generation. Democracy is a very, very, very fragile entity. It's like having a crystal ball in your hand. If you've ever held a crystal ball in the palm of your hands, you know how fragile they are. Oops, I dropped it. Oops, it's cracked. That's how fragile democracy really is. Because remember, it's an idea. Thank God we're here. Thank God for the United States of America. Thank God for you veterans who are sitting directly in front of me. And thank God for America's finest, who are serving you and me right now across the ocean to defend our liberty. Thank you all very much for having me today. I deeply appreciate your kind and gracious invitation. Thank you, Tara.
Thank you so much, Dr. Thompson, for your eloquent and moving words this morning. We're thrilled you could be here. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to welcome the Tunkhannock Area High School Advanced Vocal Class up to the front of the auditorium for their portion of the program. This group is under the direction of Miss Tara Kasparowski.
Next in the program, our advanced vocal class will perform the Armed Forces Salute to honor all branches of the military. If you are able, we ask that our veterans stand to be recognized when you hear your service song. Here is Armed Forces Salute.
Over hill, over dale, we have hit the dusty trail, and those caissons go rolling along. To march, rise about, hear those wagon soldiers shout, while those caissons go rolling along. For it's hide, hide, he in the field artillery. Call off your numbers loud and strong, and where'er we go, you will always know that those caissons are rolling along. We're always ready for the call. We place our trust in Thee. Through surf and storm and howling gale, I shall our purpose be. Semper Paratus is our guide, our fame and glory too. To fight, to save, or fight and die, I Coast Guard, we're all for you. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First we'll fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marine. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come to meet our thunder.
On behalf of everyone involved with the Veterans Day program this morning, we want to thank you all for joining us to celebrate our veterans. From our guest speakers, our musicians, to our audience of school board members, elected community officials, our administration, our faculty, staff, and students, and our friends and families. To our veterans in the audience, thank you so much for your service to our country. We are all honored to be in your presence today and every day. These people fought and served their country, our country, with a burning passion to make America the best place to live in the entire world, and we owe it to them to express and demonstrate our gratitude for their service. To quote Alexander Hamilton, "There is a certain enthusiasm in liberty that makes human nature rise above itself in acts of bravery and heroism." With that being said, we challenge you to meet a veteran today. Talk with them, listen to their stories, shake their hand, thank them for their service. Know that you are in the presence of a true hero. As our Veterans Day program comes to an end, I ask everyone here to please stand if able and join our advanced vocal class in the singing of God Bless America, and then please remain standing if able as we end our program with the playing of TAPS by student Ben Landon. Thank you.